So one very effective way to decrease destructive conflict in marriage is to first choose to feed your spouse's or partner's emotional hunger. To help couples learn to feed their partner's emotional hunger, I teach them a very simple tool that I call the RAVE response. This is what makes up the RAVE response. The R stands for reflection. And by the way, the RAVE response is just simply several key ingredients to good communication. That's what these are, key communication ingredients. The A stands for affection, the V stands for validation, and the E stands for empathy. Reflection, affection, validation, and empathy. Here's another example of how a destructive conflict may begin. Linda comes home from work and finds that Robert has not started dinner as he promised to in the morning. Annoyed, she says to him, "You promised to start dinner when you got home and nothing is done. I was looking forward to coming home to dinner on the stove." Robert's typical response, if he's going to ignore Linda's need and instead snap back, may sound something like this. "What do you expect? I just came home 2 minutes before you did. And by the way, how long does it take to heat up leftover mac and cheese? Get over it." Okay? And then he may go ahead and counter her complaint with his own and say, "And besides, last night you said we were going to have some alone time. Did it happen? No, it didn't." Okay? So he's not feeding her hunger in any way. When we talk about the RAVE response, we talk about reflection, affection, we talk about validation and empathy. And let me tell you, if Robert was a wise man, he would have used it. And let me show you what perhaps that would have sounded like, okay? This is Robert using the RAVE response. Reflection. "I told you I would start dinner before you got home and it wasn't done. You were counting on having dinner already on the stove." Affection. "I love you. I want to keep my promises to you." Validation. "I did promise you and it didn't happen. I can't blame you for being upset." Empathy. "I would be disappointed and frustrated too if I were you." How would you respond if you were Linda and Robert responded this way? A little differently, okay? And if Robert were really a wise guy, okay, in a positive way, I mean that, he would say, "Honey, go over and watch Fox News, maybe CNN, MSNBC, I don't know. But go ahead and watch your favorite program. I'm going to start dinner. And guess what? Good news. It's not going to be leftover mac and cheese." I think Linda would be a happy camper, wouldn't she?